Hi, yes, this is the very next day for me, but this is going to be next week for you guys. So, yeah. How's your guys' week been? I honestly don't care. Put it in the comments, and I may read it, may not read it. Go right ahead. Talk to each other in the comments. So, we go to the labs after the massive incident with Bakugo. The crumpled, severely smashed armor that was his hero costume. Hatsume's father, and yes, he's still called Mr. Stark to most people, but others call him Big Tony because he is huge for a man. He's bigger than Midoriya, and Midoriya is the same size as All Might. So he sees the armor crumpled and asks what the hell happened. Midoriya, who's getting his parts cleaned by May, looks over at him and goes, well, the one who put me into this state really wanted to kill me. So he used a lethal move on me. Did absolutely nothing. Great test for durability. Everything worked fine. But then I accidentally threw him into the armor, and it crumpled. May's like, and when did this happen? Because this didn't happen during the battle trial. This happened while I was taking it off in the locker room. It had a few dents and dings, but not enough to where I couldn't get in and reshape it to the size I needed it. I took it off. I clicked the shrink button that made it into the small suitcase that you guys programmed it to fit into. For Izuku, it's small, but for everybody else, it's the size of a 6x4 table collapsed. 6 foot by 4 foot table collapsed. Yes, it is a foot thick as he's holding it. It's small for him. May looks at him like, the hell? It ain't small. That's its portable mode. He goes, yeah, it's small. Anyway, I collapsed it while it was collapsing. Bakugo tried to attack me because I had one of my arms off, thinking, oh, his durability went down. Nothing happened, and I got a little soot in my connections, and that's why May's currently cleaning. You're just dancing around the issue. You're right. I'm dancing around it because I think it's kind of stupid, so I don't really want to say it. Just tell us. He attacked me, my arm fell off, and I got pissed, so I butted him, and he launched into my armor, denting it while it was folding up, and it just crumpled from there. Mr. Stark looks at May. You use the magnets as the ability to shut it, didn't you? She goes, yeah, why? He goes, oh my god, I told you not to use the magnets. She goes, that's the only way it will stay in the box. He goes, yes, to keep it in box shape. I never said don't use magnets for that. I said don't use magnets to shrink it. He goes, oh well. He goes, give me a few days, and you'll have your armor back. New, improved, and without a magnet collapsing system. Midori's like, okay. Very next day, May walks in. I cleaned it! Because Izuku walked in without an arm. And everybody's freaking out. He goes, did you guys not see that my arms are robotic parts too? Then they remember. May walks in. I got it! He goes, finally! Takes off the jacket and the shirt, showing all robotic parts. From waist down is completely covered still. He lines his arm up and she just clicks it into place, and they hear a grunt from him. May goes, oh, toughen up, you big baby. He goes, have you ever been branded with a hot iron? She goes, no. He goes, I have. It's 10 times worse than that. Everybody's like, the hell? She goes, you've been branded with multiple hot irons before the incident. He goes, I know. And that's why I'm making the comparison. Now, go back to class before I put you in the timeout corner. That is it. May proof. She freezes. You brought that thing? He goes, I always bring the thing. He goes, I really hate that thing. Aizawa walked in at this conversation part and goes, what is the thing? He pulls out a Pokeball. He goes, someone had a technology quirk that allows them to put part of them in the technology. So, I made a Pokeball. It's called the timeout corner for May. Because when she goes inside the Pokeball, she's stuck with only thoughts and designs. She can make as many designs as she wants in there, but she's not allowed to build them. And she likes building her designs. He is okay. How does it work? Clicks the Pokeball button and tosses it at Bakugo. Red beam of light. Shake, shake. That's just it shaking just to be funny. And immediately closes and shines. Goes, I caught a Chihuahua! Clicks the button, throws Bakugo out. He goes, I'm not even mad. That wasn't Bakugo, that was Eraserhead. Aizawa. He's like, I'm not even mad. Is it peaceful in there? May goes, yeah, there's so many white noise machines so you can fall asleep easily. I really don't like the Pokeball. Izuku's like, I love the Pokeball. It's so easy to capture villains with it. You just toss it at a villain. It shakes a few times and captured. Woo! Aizawa goes, is that what the pack you had attached to the back of your suit is? Yup. I got full Pokeball package and I got empty Pokeball package. And I can have 6 loaded at one time. Why am I not surprised? About the number or that I have a package of Pokeballs for my hero suit? Both. May. He goes, fair. So, the bell rings and he looks at May and goes, Paolotter didn't text you to come back to class, did he? She looks at her phone. Nope. I think he forgot I think he forgot you were in his class. She goes, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go back to class. She runs off like a maniac, screaming, "I'm going to build my babies." And he goes, "And that is why I hang out with her, because she is absolutely insane." As I was like, oh, why is it always them? Izuku goes, "What? The busty ones being weird?" "Oh, no. You don't have to worry about the busty ones. You have to worry about the quiet ones at school. Jiro, Momo, Kanoko, Yui, and Ryaiko all start blushing for no reason, feeling like they were just complimented. Yui, Kanoko, and Ryaiko don't know what the compliment's from, but Jiro starts to understand what the compliment is for, goes beet red further than she was already blushing, and Momo is not understanding quite exactly what he said. Aizawa immediately goes, "Yeah, fair. So, what now?" Izuku looks at him like, "The fuck? This is your class. Why are you telling me to teach?" He goes, "Well, you have the strength of a pro hero. You have the intelligence of a pro hero. You have the support network of a pro hero. You're basically a pro hero in everything except title." He goes, "Yeah. I would have joined first years in college, except these guys are my age and they didn't pass the provisional licensing exam last year." Most of them get irritated at the reminder. Bakugo gets pissed off. He goes, "Well, we're going to the USJ again. We taught you CPR there, how to take orders," looking deathly at Katsuki, "how to follow orders," glaring at Katsuki now, "and how to rescue what you can see. Now we're going to learn how to rescue what you can't see without using your quirks. And next year it's going to be rescue with your quirks, what you can and can't see." Izuku goes, "Okay. So we're going to take these next few days to get ready for the USJ trip." Immediately Kaminari goes, "Universal Studios Japan!" Izuku looks at him like, "The fuck?" He goes, "What? I don't think it's that kind of UA or USJ." He goes, "Oh yeah, unforeseen simulation joint. I know. But whenever the USJ is brought up, I always say that. See how many people get irritated." So the next day, Aizawa goes, "Well, something important came up. I forgot to do it on the first day and the second day and the third day. Particularly on the third day because I just don't want to do it. You need class rep and vice rep." Everybody's like, "Just keep our class rep and vice rep from last year." He goes, "There's a new person in town and this town ain't big enough for multiple reps. So, revote." Everybody starts shouting for themselves. Izuku, who picks up his leg and slams it on the floor, making a big thud sound, quieting everybody. Now that you all got the childish aspect out of yourselves, glaring at Katsuki for her starting to grind his teeth, how about democracy? voting. Whoever gets the most votes is class rep. Whoever gets the second most is vice. Everybody votes for Momo and Ida. Momo is class rep, and Ida is vice. Like last year they had that. But Ida was class rep and Momo was vice. So, the day after, a Stark VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, flies into UA premises, and 2 suits drop from the plane. From the VTOL. 2 suits. This one and... Sorry, not 2 suits, but 2 items. The sword stayed at UA. A Guandao was dropped off at UA. This one. Quickly look, I'm going to change it back. That Guandao was dropped off. It is heavier than the sword, but it also has a whip-like feature where it has almost unlimited range. So, Izuku walks into campus to see the VTOL take off, and walks immediately over to where it landed, and sees the suit and the Guandao. And he goes, "That son of a bitch!" Immediately, Aizawa snaps his head around. So does Nezu. Well, Nezu's on Aizawa's shoulder, so he kind of has no choice but to. And they're like, huh? He goes, "He said that weapon isn't ready for the next few months." They look at him like, what? Grabs the Guandao. All of a sudden, they see a chain link it from his arm to the Guandao. And he picks it up like it's nothing. And starts spinning it around. And he goes, "Would you like to see why I prefer a Guandao over a greatsword?" Eraserhead goes, "Sure." Thuds the Guandao on the ground. "Bring out All Might." They're like, "All Might's not here on campus." "Yes, he is. I saw Toshinori Yagi. He walking around." They both stiffen. "Oh, don't give me that crap. He left me to die on a roof." Nezu goes, "Can you please elaborate?" "Oh, I can elaborate. When I was 15, quite a few years ago, I was attacked by a sludge villain. The sludge villain. And All Might saved me. I asked if a person who doesn't know their quirk could be a hero. And he said no. Very viciously. And left me on the roof without a way down by jumping off again. And the only hero that actually helped me get down was this underground hero. He wore a gray scarf, had yellow goggles, and has my undying respect for the rest of the time. Aizawa stiffens, remembering that night. About a dissociating child on a roof that was small. He had a massive growth spurt. He was small for a Eraserhead, but still a little tall for his age. He had a massive growth spurt. Now he's All Might's height, by the way. So, Eraserhead looks at him. So you're that dissociating child on the roof. He goes, yup. That's why I want to go into underground. So when people like All Might piss me off, they'll never find the body. Woo! Nezu was on the staff chat and asked for all staff to go to Training Ground Beta. It's been fixed. And asked for All Might to spar a student. All Might goes, which student? He goes, Izuku Midoriya. He doesn't have his armor on. He attached his other hand and turned it into the carrying case and carried it like a sack over his shoulder. And he makes it to Training Ground Beta, puts the case down, and stands there waiting. All the other heroes and teachers are told to go on top of a building around the little fighting area. And Nezu says, Hero in Training Titan, you are fighting a highly destructive and highly secretive villain. Everybody hears this. All Might's like, why am I down here still? He used to be the number one hero. You have to make sure he doesn't leave this area for support. You have 10 minutes to survive. You found him while walking home from a support lab with a new weapon. You have enough evidence to take him in immediately. Let the fight begin. Immediately, the weapon looks like rubber in his hand, looks like it's fluid, and he whips it around All Might, leaving lashes and gashes all over All Might. As he's still spinning it around, he immediately starts bullet jumping everywhere. They're just lashing All Might with the Guandao. Everybody's like, the hell is this? He didn't move like this inside that building. How fast can he move? Eraserhead says, this is him without his armor on. Supposedly he can move faster with it. Don't know. Finally, he wraps a chain around All Might and leaves him in a very precarious situation with the Guandao pressed against his neck. All Might is bruised, bleeding, and all cut up. The only spot that wasn't hit was his left side injury. And he goes, I could heal your injury, but I'm not going to. Until you're done retiring. Because you've started the retirement process, haven't you? He goes, no. Well, you should. Because All for One's back. And people need to know. And I won't tell anybody until you're retired. So retire already. He goes, how do you know All for One is back? I haven't told anybody this. Nezu probably knows. Most of the underground probably knows. But All for One is not a secret. All for One is the monster of the underworld. The boogeyman of the underground. The one myths and legends look under their bed to make sure he's not there. And you want to know what I am to him? All Might immediately gets irritated. Stop playing with words and tell me. I am his biological spawn. I am the thing he made after he knocked up a woman and just left. He thought, oh, I could get a stronger version of my own quirk. Oh, he got a stronger version of his own quirk. In his son, yes. But he didn't expect it to be a mutation. He didn't expect it to be so strong that it can resist his own quirk. And that it's so hidden and so niche that I am a literal build a bot. Not build a bear. I ain't no bear. I am a robot able to be built with different quirks. You know my electricity generation quirk? You take off the casing of my heart and replace it for something else, I won't have it anymore. You take any of my parts off and change them out with clean, sanitized, and disinfected parts without any biological material on them, I am as good as quirkless without my quirk. So, All Might, will you retire so I can tell them that a new evil has arisen and needs to be taken down? But since All Might has already done his job and killed the boogeyman of the underworld, there's a new boogeyman in town that needs to be dealt with. Because nobody knows his name is All For One. I could call him something completely different, like his actual name. Nezu. I'll send you his name later. I think it's hilarious. Nezu grins. And you want to know what? I'm not even mad at him for leaving me and my mother. Because I'm a multi-billionaire thanks to his fake identity. So yeah. I'm not mad at him. I just want to chop his head off. So, I win this fight. All of a sudden, the timer that Nezu had is going off. You will not stay a hero for very long. You will tell them that you are retiring due to complications of old age. Because most people don't know your age. And those who do know exactly what the hell's going on. So you'll tell them that. He goes, no, you will. You want to know something? He goes, what? You want to know who your successor is? He goes, how do you know about that? Why wouldn't your successor know who he is? Yes, the son of your arch nemesis is your successor. Oh no! Anyway, retracts the chains and walks over to the case. I'll be waiting for you at the USJ. If you're late, I'm punching you in the wound and showing everyone in class. I don't care. Walks off, grabs the case, and just continues to walk off. Nezu walks up to him and goes, I suggest you officially announce that this morning. Because he looks very, very angry. I know this might not exactly match up with yesterday's video, but I'm trying to make it as fluid as possible. I haven't done a full series in a while. It's been one shots lately. I'm going to be trying to do a Halloween one shot with fear gas and fear toxin. Yeah, Scarecrow. I'm trying to do Scarecrow again later, but let's get on to the video. We get to the beginning of class. Aizawa walks in and goes, "One of you fought All Might this morning. And that same person won against All Might this morning. Now let's get into class. Shut it. I'm talking." Everybody shuts up. So, starts explaining what the USJ is and what they're going to do again. Now, go to the locker rooms, get on your cases, and go to the bus. Izuku, I'm going to run behind the bus, I know. He goes, "I was planning on you being on top of the bus, but running behind the bus is perfectly fine." He goes, "Gotcha." Stands up, and he just walks out. He gets into the locker room, clicks the button on his case. Full suit appears. He gets into the suit, cracks neck, and he walks straight into the parking lot. He sees All Might, or Toshinori Yagi. He walk into the bus, into a hidden room in the bus. And he goes, "Good, he's not late." Aizawa goes, "Yeah, he's very spooked. He's also very pissed, apparently." I don't really care. So, what else besides rescue are we doing? Quirkless sparring. You know that ain't going to work with me. He goes, "I know. That's why you're going to be overseeing it. Those who aren't doing the exercise are going to be sparring quirkless around you. You have fighting experience, right?" "I'm a black belt in 3 different martial arts. I think I have a little bit of fighting experience." He goes, "Which ones?" He goes, "I was about to say joke martial arts, yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi, but then I'm like, you won't get it." He goes, "No, I understand. I completely understand." "What martial arts, actually?" "Karate, kendo, and..." God. What was the last one? "Oh, yeah. MMA." "What?" "Yeah, I was in an MMA gym." They're like, "Oh, yeah, we tested you. You're basically a black belt. Here's a free belt." I was the best in the gym. They were scared of me. Sorry about that. I thought I heard somebody calling my name. Anyway, everybody loads onto the bus. Ida's like, "Aren't you getting on the bus?" He goes, "No, I'm running behind it." Aizawa goes, "I want to push your limits. Push the bus." He goes, "Yes, sir." Gets behind it, moves pieces in his armor to look like the bottom of a sawhorse. So 4 legs. They lock onto the back of the bus, and he starts pushing one foot after another, and then starts to jog, and then run, and now sprinting full speed with Ida's quirk, Ingenium's quirk, Bakugo's quirk mixed in to give them jet fuel, basically. And he is running full speed. close to 200 miles per hour. His earpiece was locked into Aizawa's once he said, "Why don't you push us?" Aizawa's like, when I said push us, I was thinking 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. Not this. He goes, "What am I supposed to do? Go light? Go easy? Oh, hell no. I ain't going light. I ain't going easy. You wanted me to push the bus? I'll go my max speed on this armor. I have another pair of armor that allows me to go a little bit faster." How fast? How fast do you want it to go? That's all I need to know. You're not allowed to use that armor unless it's emergency. Oh, don't worry. I have a pair of that armor everywhere. And plus, if I go out of signal, a special Stark Tech drone flies overhead to see what the hell's going on. It has clearance for flying over UA. He goes, "Good, good, good." Lights flicker. Immediately hears screeching in his implants. Clicks them off and goes, "Well, I've lost signal." This was after Aizawa 13. All Might told them, "I'll be late," particularly on the fact that I now only have an hour and 50 minutes. So, yeah. Izuku goes, "That's fine, but you weren't actually late." So, 13 was giving the speech. Lights flicker, or a few bulbs break from the power surge. The portal opens. The Nomu walks out. Izuku walks up. He has his greatsword that on his back. Claps his hand down on Aizawa's entire shoulder and goes, "Sorry to say that, but he's behind this." Who is? He is. The man I was talking about earlier. Looks up. "How do you know?" "I fought that Nomu thing before. There were prototypes 3 years ago. Or was it 4? I don't really care. Don't really know. There were prototypes back then, so they're easy to kill. Those are bioengineered weapons. Bio, or bows, or bioweapons, whatever you want to call them. But they're unfeeling, unthinking monsters. There are thinking ones, but they're all unfeeling. They're all monsters." He goes, "What do you mean there are thinking ones?" "You know that purple mist guy that just showed up?" "Yeah, that's one too." He goes, "How can you tell?" "He looks like a corpse in a coffin." No sane person would look like a corpse in a coffin without leaning into the dead jokes or dead person weapons. He's in a tuxedo. He's not making any dead puns. And he doesn't have a scythe. Nor a sword. Nor any other weapon. So don't touch those portals. Understand? Good. Good. I'm about to jump down and beat some people's butts. He goes, "What happened to your vulgar language from earlier?" "I'm going to mess her up." Aizawa goes, what happened? She added a language filter. He grins viciously. So, I can't say darn, dang, poop, and just keeps going down family-friendly versions of curse words until he gets to female dog. Aizawa freezes. Did she just literally translate the word into what it actually means? Yes, she did. So, Aizawa goes, I have a question. If it's about the swearing vulgar thing, yes, I could put one on Bakugo. But it's more of a shock collar every time he's about to say it. I wasn't planning on asking about that, but that would be a very good thing to buy. I'll talk to May about getting one. Aren't you supposed to be going down there? He's monologuing. Fair. He pulls off his sword, and all of a sudden they hear a thump from the sword. And thud. Thud as he's walking down the stairs. Just thud. Thud. Not caring to jump, not caring to run, not caring to sprint. Then Shigaraki sees it and goes, what? You're walking to your death? He goes, no. I'm currently counting. Counting what? How many people I have to kill before I can get to you? Language filter is turned off because the sword was detached from back. And he didn't notice that. Aren't you supposed to be a hero brat? Yeah, I am a hero brat. Well, technically I'm a villain brat that's trying to become a hero. He freezes. Now why don't you join me? What can you, a psychopath who's being controlled, offer me? A literal walking tank. Yes, Kurogiri. Yes, sir. Let me decay him. Reaches through the portal. Remember, he has creation. He grabs the armor, and a shimmering creation-like effect appears where the armor's being dusted away. Then lightning starts sparking there, and all the dust reforms into the armor. He goes, I would tell you to stop that, but it's just a task in futility. He goes, you're cheating. He goes, no, I'm not. I just have the right build. I have unlimited resistance. Unlimited resistances. And I'm just strong enough to do whatever the hell I want. And he goes, that's cheating. He goes, for who? You or me? Because I know that thing next to you is cheating also. He looks at the Nomu. How do you know about Nomu? How do I not know about Nomu? Nomu is a bioengineered weapon. Since it's here, you're probably going to try to kill All Might because he was supposed to be here. Oh, he is here, by the way. He's hiding because he knows that all I need to do is punch you once and you're dead. I'm that strong compared to him. He goes, you lie. He goes, I've never lied once in my life. I've just never always told the truth. He goes, that's lying. He goes, no. Someone asks me what my name is, I tell them what one of my titles are. That's lying. No, it's not. If it was lying, then I wouldn't have been able to feel or... Holy crap, there's a lot of bugs. I need to spray for bugs again. Just noticed that. I'll spray for bugs on the weekend. Yeah, I spray for bugs at my house. Part of the rent I pay. Anyway. I've been given these names by multiple people. I've never once lied. I consider them all titles. He goes, oh, and what title are you going on right now? Shigaraki can feel the vicious grin from Izuku. Mad Titan. Atlas. Mountain Crusher. As he was saying Mad Titan Atlas, he was bringing his entire arm up and slams the sword down, shattering the ground. Now, he's gotten a few more quirks thanks to Stark Industries and them testing. Upon a vibration hitting the ground, he can temporarily stunlock people in the air. Yes, he has the Rhino Stomp. He has the Stomp from Rhino in Warframe. Everybody felt the shockwave, so they're thrown up in the air. And he immediately starts beating them with the flat of the blade and his other fist. Everybody except Shigaraki is unconscious because Nomu did not get thrown up. He absorbed the shock. So, holy crap. I got more stuff to do, and I'm already tired. Man. So, upon basically punching Nomu and nothing happening, he understands, so this probably could kill All Might. Starts slugging the Nomu with his left hand only. His right hand is currently using the blade as just like a fan. Batting away the Nomu's left hand while they're punching with the right and left, respectively. So they go through. Nomu's been beaten half to hell and back. And finally, he goes, screw this. He grabs the handle of the blade. The blade starts to vibrate. Starts to heat up. It starts to lengthen. Just a little bit, but lengthen anyway. He lifts it up. It looks like the very end or one side of the Halo Energy Blade. That's what it lengthened to. He looks at the Nomu with a superheated blade and says, Solar Cutter, and cuts the Nomu in half, searing it in half. It does not regenerate. It is now just a one-limbed creature. Yes, it is still alive. He sees this, so he lifts the blade and cuts off its head, searing that part. It is now dead. Completely dead. Deader than doornail. He walks up to Shigaraki and punches him twice. Once with the right, once with the left, and it's left on his chest. Then he lifts his leg and punts him. Yes, there is the message on his leg that protruded into Kurogiri, and Kurogiri portaled them both out. Left knuckles, I'm a. Right knuckles, bitch. So he left the marking, I'm a bitch, on Tomura Shigaraki. And he superheated them so they seared into his skin. So he now has scars that say, I'm a bitch. Now the other one is temporary. Get him to heal properly, and the bruises that are the lettering go away. With All For One, later that day, because he just goes back to class and ambulances come, All Might comes in late. With All For One, he sees Tomura Shigaraki and sees the I'm a bitch. And he asks, when did he get those? And he goes, somebody punched me and now they're seared in my skin. Immediately, All For One starts laughing hysterically. And Tomura's like, Sensei, what are you laughing at? He goes, there's an old school comic book anti-hero known as the Punisher. He did that for a few comics. Then there's another one that also left a marking when he punched. He goes, well, I also have this. Shows the rest of his stomach that doesn't say I'm a bitch. And it reads, and I quote from this, hi, Dad. I'm going to dethrone you, become the new boogeyman of the underworld, and make it clean. Clean it up. Make it organized. Make it to where the police can do their job, but also can't do their job. So it's a good balance. The more people put in money to the underground, the better it looks. The more I protect them, and the harder it is for police to do. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of ransom and everything. It's going to be complicated, but I have it all figured out. But I need to dethrone you first. Oh, and don't worry. You're the boogeyman. I'm Krampus. Don't worry. I'll leave sticks and flesh dolls for naughty kids. Immediately, All For One shivers in fear because he only told his son that once. The legend of Krampus. So, a sports festival is in January. A little bit over 2 weeks after Christmas. I'm going off of American school schedule. So it starts in an August and September time frame, runs till December, Christmas break, and so on. So it is Christmas time. Everybody's on break. Izuku's out doing his own thing in his Krampus disguise. And yes, he has a Krampus disguise. He looks like a horned demon. And he has a lot different quirks. So he meets Eraserhead and a few undergrounds, and he basically gift wraps the good undergrounds with cases that are all wrapped up for them. and leave sticks and dolls made out of flesh, skin, and bone. Indistinguishable flesh, skin, and bone. In their hideouts. Kaichsaikai, most of their hideouts were raided by Krampus. He's not doing it all in one year, but there's been a message at every single hideout. I'm the new big fish in this pond. My name is Krampus. You have 1 year to clean up your operations. And the rules are: do not sell to children. Do not approach children. Do not use children. Children are to be protected and nourished at all cost. If I hear one person break any of my rules, and more will be added next year, you're joining me in the South Pole, where you'll make dolls for all the naughty kids. And they have a laughing portrait of Krampus, just with a forked tongue, cat-like eyes, just hair everywhere on his body. He digitigrade legs because he has a goat legs. Long, gangly arms and hands, and a vicious grin on his face. And it says, "Merry Christmas to all, and I hope you're naughty next year," written on the wall. It was sent to a publisher by an anonymous tip. And this publisher is known in the underground as the Tattler. The Tattle. So they can, all villains know, if they need to tattle on somebody, anonymously send this person in information. They'll get it out. They don't care. Because their quirk is immortality. They'll do it. They won't stop, and they'll just keep sending out the information. The more times they get death threats and more times they almost die, the more valid the information is. And, well, he brings up an old story about Krampus, of what they did for naughty girls and boys. And everyone in the underground starts calling up contacts, seeing if this is true. Because even though it's the Tattler, they may have wrong information. Everybody is getting on a buzz about this. Aizawa, who saw this exact crime scene a few minutes after it was done, noticed that it was fresh when the picture was sent out. Krampus anonymously sent this picture to tell the underground. So everybody knows Krampus is the one who sent this picture. And then the title goes, "This is a list of everyone Krampus took last night. The old Yakuza group, 90% of them, the Shihai Saikai, the Tokyo Thugs," and just keeps going down the list of different people who just didn't care about morality and started doing whatever they wanted. And lastly, but not least, Shigaraki Tomura. All for One, who was doing stuff. Yeah, they're all in Pokeballs. They're all in stasis Pokeballs. Yeah. I'm going to end it soon. So you guys have a warning. This is going to be going out next Tuesday. For me. But for you guys, it's coming out today. Yay! It came out today. Woo! But while May and her father know what Izuku's doing, knows that he's going both underground and actually underground because they supported him, and May's kind of fucked stupid by him multiple times, so she's just like, yeah, do whatever you want. You have full access to everything. Yeah. I don't think she really knows what she's getting into. So, we go to All for One. He was watching this program, immediately calls up the bar. Kurogiri answers, yes, sir. Where's Tomura? He goes, in his room, sir. Check. And all they found was a left boot at the door of Tomura's room with a stick in it. And I'm going to end it there. Talk to you guys later. Bye.